Have you ever wondered how to live your best life after 80? As we age, many of us face new challenges. But what if I told you that it's never too late to start living the life you've always dreamed of? In this video, I'm going to share with you the transformative lessons I learned in my 60s and beyond. Lessons that have allowed me to embrace life fully, maintain good health, and build meaningful relationships well into my 80s. Stick with me until the end because I'll be revealing the 10 powerful habits that have truly made a difference in my life. From how to manage your finances for a more fulfilling life to the secret to maintaining muscle and health as you age, these habits are practical, easy to implement, and will help you thrive in your later years. If you want to know how small changes can lead to big transformations, why comparing yourself to others might be holding you back, and how to build relationships that make your life richer, this video is for you. Let's dive in and discover how you can start living true to yourself, no matter your age. If you are not subscribed, I recommend subscribing and activating the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. My wife, who had once been a passionate instructor at a handwriting school, had always taken immense pride in her ability to write beautiful, graceful characters. It wasn't just a skill for her, it was an expression of her heart, her care, and her attention to detail. Her handwriting was something she held dear, something she cherished deeply. But, as time passed, we began to notice the inevitable changes that come with age. When she turned 80, something heartbreaking happened. She began to struggle with holding a pen correctly, and with each passing day, it became harder for her to write the way she once could. It was as though her greatest source of pride was slowly slipping through her fingers, and with it, a sense of loss that was difficult to articulate. It was a time of confusion, of wondering how we got here when everything seemed perfectly fine before. It felt as though life had suddenly changed direction without warning. Yet, despite this hardship, I found myself standing at a crossroads, wondering what path I should take. It was then that I recalled the wise words of Murata-sensei, a person I had met in my 60s whose advice would forever alter the course of my life. Kun, it's not too late. If you start now, you can live true to yourself even at 80. Those words hit me with a powerful truth that I needed to hear. It wasn't too late. There was still time to make a change, to live with purpose, and to embrace life with vitality and intention. I had been so focused on the changes in my wife's life that I had forgotten about my growth potential. Murata-sensei's encouragement awakened something within me, a desire to not just drift through life, but to truly live it. From that day forward, I committed myself to practicing 10 important habits that would help me live with greater purpose, joy, and authenticity. It's amazing how a single conversation, a single spark of wisdom, can change everything. Looking back, I can't help but feel a deep sense of gratitude for those words. They carried me through a time of uncertainty and gave me the strength to forge a new path, not only for myself but also for the love I still have for my wife. In the face of life's challenges, it's never too late to begin anew, to reconnect with what truly matters, and to find strength in both the good and the difficult moments. 1. Wise use of savings. I remember a time when my dear friend Mura was tirelessly saving every penny, all in the hopes of leaving behind a large inheritance for his children. He worked so hard, day in and day out, pinching every cent, always focused on what was ahead. But now, as both of us find ourselves in our late 80s, the reality is impossible to ignore. We've reached an age where the years have flown by. And Mura, with a tone of deep regret, sighs, "If only we had gone on a hot spring trip together back then, just the two of us, to enjoy life as we deserved." His voice carries a sorrowful weight, a reminder of the sacrifices he made, only to realize that the time he hoped to enjoy later was never truly his to grasp. On the other hand, I made a different choice when I reached 60. When my retirement fund came in, I didn't let it sit idly. I saw it not just as a safety net, but as a key to unlocking a richer, more fulfilling life. With careful planning, I budgeted 100,000 yen each month for the simple pleasures that make life beautiful. Hot spring trips to relax my body and soul, pottery classes to tap into my creativity, and family dinners that keep my heart warm and my bond strong. These weren't just small indulgences. They became my treasures, the memories that I now hold dear. Looking back, I know that investing in these experiences was one of the best decisions I ever made. They filled my later years with joy, purpose, and connection, things Mura now longs for, but that I cherish deeply. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. It's easy to get caught up in the future, worrying about what we can leave behind, but I've come to realize that the moments we live today are the real treasures of life. I wouldn't trade the laughter shared at those family dinners or the peace I felt soaking in those hot springs for anything. As I look at the years I've lived, I'm filled with gratitude that I chose to live fully, not just save for a future that could come too late. Life, after all, is not just about securing tomorrow. It's about embracing the beauty of today. 2. Deciding to stop comparing your life to others. My dear friend Sato has always been someone I admired for his hard-working nature and deep sensitivity, but there was a time when he was consumed by feelings of insecurity and frustration. Every time we sat down together, he would sigh heavily, his face clouded with worry as he talked about the lavish retirement lives he saw on social media. He couldn't help but compare himself to others, especially those peers living in luxury, traveling the world, and seemingly enjoying endless relaxation. He would lament about his pension, always feeling it was too small, too insignificant, and it would never allow him to experience anything close to the lives those images promised. I could see the heaviness in his eyes as he carried the weight of these comparisons. It pained me to watch him struggle, constantly looking outside himself for fulfillment, while completely overlooking the treasure that was already within his reach. But then, something miraculous happened. It wasn't an overnight transformation, but one that unfolded with time and patience. One morning, out of nowhere, Sato decided to make a small but powerful change. He began spending his early mornings in the local park, sweeping the leaves, tidying the paths, and doing whatever he could to help maintain the beautiful space where our children often played. At first, he did it quietly, with little recognition. But soon, the community began to notice. The children, in particular, took to him, calling him Park Sato, their eyes lighting up whenever they saw him. His simple act of giving, without expecting anything in return, began to fill him with a sense of purpose he hadn't felt in years. It's amazing how life works. As I watched this quiet transformation, I began to notice something about Sato that had been absent before. His face. He no longer looked gloomy or defeated. He spoke with a smile, his words filled with warmth and confidence. "It's not about money," he would say, his voice steady and content. "I've found something far more valuable. I've found a way to live true to myself, in a way that brings me peace and joy." At that moment, I realized how deeply our lives can change when we stop comparing ourselves to others, when we stop chasing someone else's version of happiness. Sato had finally discovered that the richness of life isn't found in material wealth or extravagant vacations, but in the simple, everyday acts that make a difference to others, and, in turn, to ourselves. It was as if a veil had been lifted, and Sato could now see the beauty in his own life, not through the lens of comparison, but through the authenticity of his own experiences. His journey has been a powerful reminder for me that we don't need to look to others for validation or to measure our worth. True happiness comes from embracing who we are and finding meaning in the moments that truly matter. 3. How to notice new human relationships. There was a time when I, too, felt an overwhelming sense of loneliness, a weight that seemed almost impossible to shake off. It was like a quiet ache that lingered in the background, reminding me of the gaps in my life. But what I've learned over time is that even the smallest of connections can slowly fill those gaps in the most profound ways. It started with something as simple as my daily walks. Every morning, I found myself crossing paths with dog walkers, exchanging nods or friendly smiles. I'd wave at Yamada-san, who diligently worked the register at the local supermarket. These seemingly insignificant interactions, repeated day after day, brought a certain warmth to my routine. And then, of course, there were the people I saw every week at my kendo class. Fellow practitioners who shared their passion and energy, reminding me that connection doesn't always have to be profound to be meaningful. But it was meeting Suzuki San that truly shifted my perspective. At 75, this quiet man left an indelible mark on me. He's not someone you'd expect to be a fountain of wisdom or an active participant in his community. Yet, 3 times a week, he volunteers at the local library, reading stories to children, infusing their imaginations with tales of adventure. The way he spoke about it, his eyes lighting up with excitement as he shared his love for storytelling, was enough to remind me of something deeply important. You don't need to have a network of deeply intricate, intimate relationships to feel fulfilled. What matters more is the simple act of being there for others, of contributing something positive to their lives. Suzuki-san's ability to engage with others, to nurture the next generation with his time and kindness, taught me that even small acts of usefulness can keep your heart young and alive. The connections you create don't need to be complicated. They just need to matter to someone, and that is what truly makes life rich. It is easy to think that we need grand gestures, lifelong friends, or perfect companions to feel truly connected. But sometimes, the most profound relationships are built on nothing more than shared moments of kindness and mutual respect. And this realization, I believe, is a gift, one that Suzuki-san gave me without even knowing it. 4. Maintaining appropriate distance with children. Looking back, this is one of the most profound lessons I've learned, one that came through my own mistakes. When I was younger, I made the decision to entrust my eldest son and his family with a significant portion of my retirement savings, thinking that by doing so, I would secure my future care as I aged. I wanted to ensure they would be there for me when I needed them most. But what I didn't foresee, what I couldn't possibly have understood at the time, was how this act of trust would create an emotional distance between us. It didn't feel like a gesture of love anymore. Instead, it became a barrier, one that made our conversations feel strained, and it kept me from being open and honest with them. I no longer felt free to share my thoughts or feelings, as though the very act of talking about money had changed the dynamic of our relationship. Reflecting on that painful realization, I knew I had to do things differently with my second son. The emotional weight of money had done its damage, and I wasn't willing to repeat the same mistake. So, I made a conscious decision to stop discussing finances with him altogether. Instead, I wanted to create memories, not obligations. I proposed something simple but meaningful, a monthly dinner together. Just the two of us, away from the stress of everyday life, where we could sit down and talk freely, enjoying the simple joy of each other's company. It's incredible how such a small shift has had such a deep impact. Now, spending weekends with my grandchildren is the highlight of my life. Their laughter, their innocence, and the love we share remind me every day that true connection doesn't come from money, but from spending time together. Genuine, undistracted, unburdened by anything else. It's a lesson I hold close to my heart now. Family is about the moments we share, not the things we give. It's the hugs, the laughter, and the memories that truly matter. 5. Efforts to maintain muscle. I'll always carry with me the unforgettable lesson that Murata-sensei once shared with me. He said that muscles are like a glass of water. Over time, especially after we turn 70, they slowly begin to decrease, little by little, day by day. It's a natural process, something that can't be avoided. But here's the beautiful part. If you continue to add water to the glass, it will never fully empty, no matter how much time passes. That simple yet profound analogy changed my perspective on aging and the power of consistency. For me, this lesson became a guiding principle when I hit my 60s. I committed myself, something that I've never wavered from, no matter how tired I might feel or how much life tries to pull me in different directions. Every single morning, I do 10 squats. It's not much, but it's a reminder that I am in control of my body and that I have the power to shape my health. While I watch TV, I'll add another 20 knee lifts to the mix. And while brushing my teeth, something as simple as brushing my teeth, I do 100 jaw exercises. I've made it a part of my daily rhythm, like breathing, something I couldn't live without. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Thanks to these small yet consistent efforts, I still have the energy and strength to do the things I love. I can go to the store without worrying if I'll be able to carry the bags. I can stroll through the park, feeling the fresh air on my face and the warmth of the sun on my skin, as I play with the children in my life. These little things mean the world to me. As I reflect on the simple act of staying active, I realize that it's not just about the physical muscles. It's about the mental strength to keep moving forward, to keep adding that water to the glass every day, no matter how old we get. Because life, in all its beauty, is something worth living fully, and I'm determined to never stop moving. 6. Regular sleep habits. As I entered my 60s, I began to realize just how crucial it is to take care of my body, especially when it comes to something as fundamental as sleep. Over the years, I've noticed that, as I get older, my energy levels fluctuate more than they used to, and I knew it was time to make a change. So, I made a deliberate effort to establish a consistent sleep routine, going to bed and waking up at the same time every night. This simple decision has had a profound impact on my health and well-being, and I can't emphasize enough how much of a difference it's made. I remember when my friend Sato, who's always been a night owl, once mentioned that people tend to stay up later as they get older. He shared it almost as a sort of unspoken truth, a fact that people just accept. Aging can indeed bring about shifts in our sleep patterns, and some of these changes are beyond our control. But deep down, I felt there had to be more to it than simply resigning myself to a late-night routine. I couldn't shake the feeling that regular sleep was the real key to maintaining good health as I aged, and that's exactly what I've come to believe with every passing day. Now, sticking to a regular sleep schedule may seem simple to some, but for me, it's been an absolute game changer. The consistency has brought a sense of stability that I didn't even know I needed. Every night, I look forward to the comforting ritual of winding down, knowing that I'm giving my body the time it truly deserves to rest and recharge. It's almost like a quiet promise to myself, a way of honoring my health and my life. This newfound routine has helped me wake up feeling more rested, more energized, and most importantly, more at peace with myself. I've learned that sleep isn't just about shutting my eyes for a few hours. It's about giving my body a chance to heal, process, and reset. It's a time for me to slow down, reflect on the day, and prepare for whatever comes next. The mornings are no longer a struggle. Instead, they feel like an invitation to greet the day with a sense of clarity and purpose. It's incredible how something so basic, yet so essential, has the power to transform my entire outlook on life. What's even more striking is how much I've seen my mental and emotional well-being improve. I used to feel scattered, restless, and sometimes even overwhelmed by the demands of everyday life. But now, with the consistency of my sleep routine, I feel more centered and resilient. It's as though the stability in my sleep has created a solid foundation for everything else in my life to rest upon. In the end, I've come to realize that the way we care for our sleep as we age can truly define the quality of our lives. It's not just about avoiding sleepless nights. It's about embracing the idea that rest is an essential form of self-care, especially as we grow older. While some may argue that late nights are inevitable as we age, I've learned that the power of a regular sleep schedule goes beyond simply feeling rested. It's about fostering a sense of balance, health, and inner peace. And for that, I'm endlessly grateful. 7. Decluttering without strain. As my wife entered her 80s, she gradually began to take charge of organizing our home, but she did so in such a gentle, thoughtful way. Slowly, over several years. I watched in awe as she began to declutter not just the physical space around us, but also the emotional weight we had carried with us for so long. She had always been a person who valued simplicity, and as the years went by, she became even more determined to keep only the things that truly mattered to us. With each item we let go of, there was a subtle sense of freedom that seemed to sweep through the house, and with that, our hearts felt lighter too. It wasn't just about getting rid of material possessions. It was about preserving the essence of what we cherished most. One of our greatest challenges was organizing our memories. We spent countless hours looking through old photo albums, laughing and crying as we relived the moments captured in those pages. The thought of letting go of some of those memories was almost unbearable, but my wife, with her gentle wisdom, knew that some memories could be preserved more nearly. So, we digitized many of our old photographs, creating a digital archive that allowed us to hold on to the beauty of our past without the clutter. This way, we could still share those precious moments with our grandchildren, telling them stories from days long gone. For me, the process was more than just about tidying up. It was a reflection of our lives, of how we've learned to value what truly matters. Our home became more than just a space to live in. It became a sanctuary of meaningful moments and treasured memories. It was a beautiful experience, one that left me feeling grateful, at peace, and deeply connected to my wife. There's something incredibly powerful about letting go, not only of things but of the emotional weight that comes with holding on to everything. It's a practice I hope to carry with me in the years to come. 8. A diet style that suits you. My wife and I, after much thoughtful discussion, decided to adopt a new rule that would guide our meals. We agreed that every dish we prepare should include a portion of meat or fish, but only about the size of our palms. It wasn't an easy decision at first, but we knew it was a necessary step toward a healthier lifestyle. I still remember the concern on Kazuo-san's face when we first mentioned this change. With his usual cautious approach, he said, "Eating a lot of meat will make you fat," and it was clear that he was worried. At that moment, I could understand his fears. There's so much conflicting information out there about diets, and it's easy to get overwhelmed. However, over time, I realized something crucial. Moderation is key. I learned that a balanced intake of protein, particularly in the form of meat and fish, is essential for maintaining good health. Protein is not the villain many think it is. In fact, it plays a vital role in supporting muscle growth, energy levels, and overall wellness. I can't tell you how much more energetic I feel after adopting this approach. It's not about indulgence or excess. It's about finding a balance that feels right for your body. And so, with each meal, as we thoughtfully prepare our portions, I feel a sense of contentment and trust in the path we've chosen. It's an ongoing journey of learning, but one that I truly believe is worth every effort. 9. Embracing new hobbies. Embracing new hobbies in my 60s was one of the most empowering decisions I've ever made. I knew that to continue growing and living with excitement, I had to push myself to try new things, to step outside of my comfort zone. So, I began slowly but surely taking up activities that intrigued me, one after another. Pottery and photography were the first to catch my attention. Pottery, in particular, was such a profound experience. There was something so deeply satisfying about shaping clay with my own hands, feeling the cool, soft material become something beautiful and meaningful. The process of creating something from nothing and watching it take form felt like a metaphor for life itself. It's never too late to mold your future into something you're proud of. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. To my surprise, my pottery work was recently chosen to be part of a local exhibition. Seeing my creations displayed for others to admire brought a sense of pride and fulfillment I hadn't anticipated. It was a reminder that life doesn't stop giving growth opportunities, even as the years go by. Photography, too, has added so much richness to my daily existence. Capturing moments, whether big or small, has taught me to slow down and appreciate the beauty of the present. These hobbies, which began as simple curiosities, have now woven themselves into the fabric of my routine, adding layers of joy, creativity, and accomplishment. Starting new hobbies like these has become a reminder that no matter our age, life is full of possibilities, and the pursuit of passion and purpose never has to end. 10. Valuing small joys. When I reflect on my younger years, I remember the excitement of traveling to distant places, indulging in lavish meals at fine restaurants, and the thrill of experiencing the world's grandest pleasures. Back then, I thought those were the things that would truly bring happiness and fulfillment. But as time has passed, I've come to realize something profoundly beautiful and deeply moving. The small, everyday moments are where true joy resides. Now, I find myself savoring the simple pleasure of early morning walks, the crisp air filling my lungs as I step outside, grounding me to the present. There's an indescribable peace in those quiet moments when I hold a warm cup of coffee, enjoying the comfort of it in my hands while the world slowly wakes around me. My heart swells with warmth every time I play with my grandchildren, their laughter filling the air and reminding me of the pure joy of being alive. It's in these moments, these tiny, seemingly insignificant parts of the day, that I now see the true richness of life. They may not be glamorous or extraordinary, but they carry a depth of meaning that I could never have imagined before. I've learned that happiness doesn't always come from grand achievements or material things. It often comes from the quiet joy of being present, of feeling connected to those we love, and of appreciating the beauty in simplicity. The older I get, the more I realize that the little things, the fleeting moments, are what truly make life so incredibly rich. As we reflect on the beauty found in life's small joys, I hope you've gained a deeper appreciation for the simple moments that truly enrich our days. What have you learned so far from this journey into finding happiness in the little things? I would love to hear from you. Please, comment below with one thing you've learned and how you plan to bring it into your life. If you like this video, please leave your comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Let's continue to embrace the small joys together.